problem is I always do this I don't like it. So let's just get started. Welcome to the Toy Duo, everybody. And today on the show we have John Bon GIJOE and Sir Eric Brown, who was actually knighted by John, I think, right? Isn't that what you said last week? No, it was Salacious who knighted.
Yeah. Rum was claiming that he knighted me. Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, welcome to the Toy Duo. You can see three of us on the screen here. You are at Ochre Studios or Vern Rants, however you follow it. And we do this live stream every week. I'm going to move you down so you don't get cut off. I'm going to take this off. This was the thumbnail for today's show. I just want to say welcome to the channel, everybody. And let's just say hi to some people in the chat before we get started. I want to say hi to Rolando. He has joined.
Are you sure you want to do that?
What do you mean?
Say hi to people? I mean,
yeah. Let's say hi to people. Dustin has joined us.
Just don't know how much trouble we could get into
we could get into a lot of trouble. I mean, like we're putting up people's images on the screen and stuff like that. We're totally reusing their images here, their little thumbnail images.
I'm just AI at this point.
Here. G-Force is in the audience. Jonathan has joined us. It's probably British Standard Time still, so the time zones are really messed up. I will never figure those out. Left Coast Graphics has joined us. He actually you were on with Left Coast Graphics, John, and then you guys just.
Well, I mean, to be quite frank, that was clone number 17. So
okay, clone number 17.
Clone number 48 has been waiting for you to come on, so that's who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Look, Sir Eric Brown. He's actually in the chat as well. Dark Lycan is here. Thank you for joining us. Just so you know, everybody, I wanted to say this early on. We're going to talk about, first of all, we're going to talk about some of the action figure reveals coming up for San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Whatever you guys want to talk about, that's pop culture or whatever that's coming out. Are you guys excited or liking the Marvel Secret Invasion so far? Is it getting better? Have you seen any new movies? That type of stuff. We'll talk about that stuff. So I do not have memberships anymore on my channel. And the reason behind that is because YouTube this week has decided to demonetize my YouTube channel. So I just thought I'd mention it right away. They told me that the reasoning was that I reuse other people's content on my channel. So I'm looking through my videos, trying to find the ones where I've reused other people's content. They're not really telling me like what video it was or what videos. And I've tried to figure it out. I did a video appeal and they denied it. They said that I still reuse people's content. It was really funny because like in the studio, you click a link to appeal and then you give them the link to your video. And I guess I missed the part where I was supposed to tell them the URL of my channel in the first 30 seconds. So I got a demerit for that. And even though I responded through my YouTube channel, and then they still decided that I reuse content. So I don't know what content
in what form, like advertising for toys. Like, yeah, of course you're showing promo pics and whatnot.
So I will just tell you what it actually the way they kind of put it here. It says reused content. Channel uses someone else's content without making changes that add significant value. So the things that you can do are make a funny, thoughtful revision of content you didn't originally create. You can take clips of other people's content as part of a critical review. You could take a scene from a movie where you've rewritten the dialogue and changed the voiceovers. You can replay a sports tournament where you explain what a competitor did to succeed or fail. You can do reaction videos, and you can edit footage from other creators where you add a storyline or commentary.
What?
Yeah. So those are things you can do. And then they say that what you can't do is short videos.
You can't do a reaction video. I've done it.
Those are things
I've done it and I've gotten flagged for it.
They
you
say
can't.
right there in the do examples of what you're allowed to monetize. That's one of the examples. Reaction videos where you comment on the
Well,
original.
apparently when I do them, you can't do them. Oh,
Okay.
everybody else can, but I can't.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what you
I get
can't do
flagged.
is you can't do short videos you compiled from other social media websites, which I so I don't know, like if I took a bunch of other people's social stuff and made a short, I
Oh
can't.
wait, do you put anything on TikTok?
I do.
Did you make like say you made a short? Did
Okay,
you
so
make it on TikTok and then take that exact video and put it on YouTube and it
okay,
still has
so
the TikTok logo on it?
so hold on a second.
Because that I know they will flag you.
When YouTube Shorts was new, I took all of my videos from TikTok and I put them on YouTube. And they were fine. They didn't say anything. Then when they came out with that YouTube fund where they said, if you get a lot of views, we're going to give you a little bit of this fund, I was ineligible because of the TikTok logo.
Yeah.
It was spelled out. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But when they finally monetized the shorts, they turned the monetization on all of those videos. They did. I didn't go in and manually do anything. It was automatic.
No, they just did it automatically. Yeah.
So the thing is, what they're saying is I'm reusing other people's content, but it's my content.
Yeah, it is.
I created it. It has my logo on it. Right.
Nothing that I saw on your channel was made from anybody but you. That's why I'm confused about it.
So unless they were arguing that like stills of like toy advertising.
Yes. Yeah.
So you weren't adding significant value to a review, which is bogus.
Right. So here's the thing, though, about those things. I don't do slideshows, right? Like, so if you look at my shorts where I'm doing like the Hasbro G.I. Joe figures, they're animated in some way. So what I do is I actually take my phone, I turn on the screen record, and I go through my photos and I like kind of do this like zoom in, zoom out a little bit on the picture.
Yeah.
And then I edit that in the movie thing so that there's motion kind of in my shorts. And I guess they can say that, but I mean, it's not like I'm getting those pictures from the social media websites because Hasbro's sending them to me.
How many people just got offended by saying that there's motion in your shorts?
But anyways, we'll see how that goes. Let's see. I'm gonna just go through the chat a little bit. Sir Eric Jonathan. Let's see. Lobot is saying hello. He says W2F. That's what I said in a way. But it is. YouTube is pulling that stunt with a ton of creators. It's all BS. Yeah, and I have heard that other creators are getting demonetized and stuff like that.
Well, I see. The reason I thought it was DC was at first was because I do know a number of people that claim. I mean, I don't know for a fact, so I shouldn't say I know for a fact, but they allegedly got demonetized because they used footage from the Flash movie trailer.
Okay.
And for some reason, I think because of the mixed reactions that movie is getting.
Yes.
DC, whatever, it might DC Warner, but whoever was behind it all is starting to pull a lot of videos, hoping to squish the negative side of things.
Yeah. And I thought about
and they're just basically using you put too much footage from the trailer or whatever in your video, so we're gonna. Yeah. But what confuses me is you're supposed to get 3 strikes when you're on YouTube.
Yep.
So if you did one video commenting on the Flash, that should just give you 1 strike. But somehow DC is giving people 3 strikes with 1 video. And YouTube's going along with demonetizing or even closing their entire channel.
Because here's my channel right now showing that I have the subscribers, I have the view hours, I have the verification, and I follow the community guidelines.
Yeah.
Right? I got the green check mark saying that I follow the community guidelines. Yet, I reuse content. I reuse someone else's content without making changes that add significant value.
They should have to quote like specifics.
I mean, the very least there should be somebody that I could like talk to, and they can tell me, is it specifically one video? Because I will tell you, John, I almost think that's the truth, because I did a compilation of the Supergirl from the Flash trailer, and that video has over 300,000 views. And it just picked up and got 300,000 views in like a couple of weeks. And then I think it was on the heels of that one just getting a ton of views. But the thing is, if I thought anything like that was going to be reused content, I definitely would have tried to turn the monetization off, because I think that would have made the difference, right? I'm not trying to capitalize on it. It's a fan edit, basically.
Yeah.
And those are kind of allowed, but you can't monetize them. So there's like a difference, right? But the thing is, when I upload a short, I'm not uploading it and turning the monetization on.
No, they do it automatically.
And it's automatic.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it shouldn't be, right? Oh, look at
but that's also, this is also a true thing. I'm not saying Valaverse. I don't want to get mixed up in saying Valaverse does this. But I do know that there are people out there. I know a couple of channels that allegedly say they suspect that this has happened. But like, if say a group of people were like, you know what, I've got, or an individual were like, I've got 100,000 followers. If I hate so-and-so's channel for whatever reason, I can convince 100 of my followers to go along with me. And we're all going to complain about their channel on the same day at 10 o'clock a.m. on Thursday. We're going to choose a time. And if you get like 100 people writing in saying this channel is terrible, reporting your channel, YouTube will automatically just knock it off. Twitter will automatically close your account, you know? Like, and then they review a human, because the robot in charge of will just close it down. Then you have to get a human to review it. And most of the time, if people reported it, there's no real basis of truth behind it, they'll turn it back on. But you're shut down for a week or two while they figure it out. So that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like what GeForce is saying, I think is a little bit different. That what they said, Gap is saying he missed what's in my shorts. So what YouTube said is they randomly like check videos or whatever, right? So I think if it was a complaint, they would have said, you got all these complaints that you're reusing content.
Gotcha.
But they said that they did a review and they found, and then when you read through it, it says they can't review all your videos. So what they do is they review like your higher viewed ones. And I'm guessing in my mind, it's that Supergirl one or the Flash one, because that one in the last 2 weeks has been on fire. It's been getting like 1,000 views an hour, right?
Wow.
Until yesterday, then it dropped down to about 300. So I'm guessing for the most part that's the one it is. The other thing that I can think of, Eric, is what you're saying is that they're thinking I'm just pulling these pictures off of social media and making slideshows. And maybe what I need to do is do a voiceover that says, check out the new Hasbro GI Joe action figure. So I'm having a voiceover which significantly changes the picture or adds some sort of purpose to it. Right.
Yeah.
The problem is when
it sounds more likely that it's the Flash thing that
Yeah.
John was talking about.
Yeah.
But it was interesting that, like, doing all the research and stuff, I totally missed that I was supposed to tell them my channel URL when it's like linked to my channel, the response, right?
What?
And what do you mean in the first 30 seconds? So when you make a dispute, you have to do a video saying, "Hello, hi YouTube, I'm from Vern's Oakhurst Studios channel. URL blah 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 blah, and I'm making a dispute against your claim." You can't just write it in an email.
No, so
you have to make a video.
Yes, the appeal process is you're supposed to make a video and explain how you make your videos. Show them like your scripts or show them what you do and talk about your channel as a whole, which I did. I basically like showed them my work area. You know, I showed them some of the apps or told about the apps that I use for doing my stuff. I explained how I made all my videos. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't say,
I'm Oakhurst
Oakhurst
Studios.
Studios.
Here's my URL in the first 30 seconds.
YouTube.com/Oakhurst. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
so funny to me, right?
So-
But
Still, the flaw in that is that a machine shouldn't be able to turn you off like that, right?
they're
Like a human should have to say, quote, like a specific reason.
yeah, I
that
think
you can. Yeah.
they're trying to say that it's their reviewers, right? And then whoever watched my video was a reviewer. I'm thinking he watched the first 30 seconds, didn't bother. Oh, he didn't say his channel URL, so ended the video and then didn't bother watching anymore.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm talking about, like, in the first place, it shouldn't even come to that. You should have like a clear example of why you got demonetized.
That's what I think. I think that they should have sent me and highlighted
Specifics.
these are the videos we looked at. Tell us what you think of these videos. Are they like your content or whatever? And then
Well,
when
the
you
other thing. Go ahead.
What?
Sorry.
when they do the, you have like 2 weeks to do the appeal, and in that time you can't actually delete any videos before. If you delete any videos and then do the appeal, they basically won't review the appeal because you've made changes to your channel. So now that they denied my appeal, I got to go through and figure out which ones they think I used other people's content and delete them, and then I can reapply after 30 days.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
This
No,
is
it's-
one of the reasons why I don't even bother making my own content.
Yeah.
I just can't be bothered dealing with this nonsense.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
the
the
thing
thing with the copyright claim, I get a lot of these like copyright things for music, but they're never a strike against my channel.
No,
It's
yeah,
basically
exactly.
just saying, hey, somebody else is claiming this music, blah blah blah.
You're
can't
gonna get
monetize it.
or you'll get shared monetization.
Yeah, and nobody can watch it in this country or something like that.
Well, I was going to say, you also got to remember that these people, like the human being who's sitting in an
Yeah.
office, who's supposed to review cases like this, you could get him on a bad day or get him on
Yeah.
a day where he wants to leave at a time
Well-
when he wants to. Because quite frankly, it's not like he gets 3 to review every day. He probably
Right.
gets 300,000 channels to review every day.
You know, I did
He's
think
got
about
this
this.
backlog that's just sitting there, and he's probably got like some kind of text list or something. He's got to
Oh.
click every single link and watch all these videos. And he's like, "Fuck it, this guy didn't follow the rules. Next." You know what
It's
I mean? Like,
because I feel like this happened right after Target sold out of the Darth Vader, so he was probably angry at Hasbro and said,
Yeah.
"Screw that. Oh, this guy likes Hasbro."
he's got the Darth Vader I want. Damn it! I saw it in the background of the video, and he popped the head off. What the hell?
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's
Vader
like-
lasted
he's-
longer than the
He's doing this on purpose, isn't he?
He is, because I sent him a message today saying, "Hey, are you streaming today?"
What are you doing? I'm on with Vern. What's wrong with you?
You would not believe what I just
I never thought I would see the day that Vern joins Random Menace.
just busting jobs. All right, have a fun streaming.
Salacious Ram has joined us. He has graced us with his presence. Anyways,
Gap called me out. I should have said them. I said him or something. So he's like, a woman could have been on the review channels. Sorry.
so the thing is, it's like, I mean,
Oh,
What?
Jesus, that guy.
all right. So the thing is, the funny part of it is like, this is not like a career making amount of money anyways.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like it hurts my feelings too much. It is kind of like a stick because I feel like I've been fairly creative with my own videos, and I feel like my content is original, except for maybe the fan editor or whatever, like of that trailer and maybe a couple other ones. But for the most part, I've made all of my own videos. So it's kind of like burns a little bit that they're trying to tell me that I'm reusing somebody else's videos,
Yeah.
because I would never
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Is there another round of appeals that's possible, or
No, I just have to
He said he
reapply.
has to reapply in 30 days.
Yeah, I have to reapply. But anyways, if you go to my if you go to my link tree, the very top box is make great things happen. And that's where you can PayPal me money. I'm just kidding. It actually is in there, but I don't expect anybody to go do it. Anyways, I just think that was kind of interesting week to like get that. It was sort of like to me, I felt like it was a little bit of a slap in the face, but whatever. I'm still going to do the videos that I'm doing. This week, you guys know what happened with Valaverse. I'll just talk about that for a minute. They were releasing their Joe Fest stuff finally on their website. They completely revamped their website. They sent a message out in the morning saying everything's going to be available at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So a bunch of people went there. Of course, nothing worked. And but I think within an hour, they posted, which is great because all I've said in my previous videos is when there's a problem, just let people know there's a problem, right? I think that's what I was saying the whole time was, hey, just put out a post, let people know the website's not working. So they did it. And I think that's fantastic that they did it. So what they did was, I think it was like about an hour in to their stuff not working, they posted, we'll try again tomorrow. Sorry for the inconvenience, like website down, whatever, we'll try again tomorrow. So me and a lot of other people apparently decided to.
That was real. I would have just come back tomorrow. Yeah.
Right? Was like, hey, I'm coming back tomorrow. And then later I look at my phone, it's like there's a 5:30 p.m. post saying, just kidding, everything's working, go get your stuff.
Oh, geez.
And it was like, what? And it's like about 2 hours later. So I go over there, and of course, the Warpath Eclipse is gone, and I can't get it. So then I'm reading through the comments, and oh my gosh, dude, they went to town on some people in the comments, right? And I was like, what? They didn't really just say that. And then I'm like trying to snap pictures of the comments and stuff like that because I'm like, oh, this is bad, right? And then like by me doing that, all of a sudden, both of those previous posts just disappeared and you couldn't read the comments anymore. So somebody had said something like, hey, I get that stuff happens, but the way that you're responding to people is like, somebody actually said that. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, I'm not seeing the comments or whatever. And I'm on Instagram and they deleted those two posts.
Well, of course they did. It was bad publicity. Yeah.
Yeah. And
what did they say?
They were telling people like, somebody was like, hey, I was on here. And then the company just basically is like, hey, sorry, you didn't get your toys. And I'm like,
yeah, like not that it was taken. The way people took it was, oh, I'm so sorry that you didn't get your toys, you little baby.
You can read it.
You know what I mean? Like
people are reading it, right? So people are reading it and stuff like that.
And it's like, you're a toy manufacturer. What are you talking? Like, why are you like making us feel like we're idiots for buying toys?
Yes. So I did a video and I kind of read it both ways. Like, hey, sorry, you didn't get your toys. And then I read it like, sorry, you didn't get your toys. And, depending on how you're reading a comment to you. And the thing is, when somebody's not happy because they didn't get something they've been waiting for, and they read a comment like that, how they're going to read it for the most part, right? They're going to be upset that this company that they wanted to support is telling them, sorry, you didn't get your toys. I think that whoever was writing that just lacked some common sense in a way. They should have said, hey, you know what? There's going to be more coming later. Sorry you didn't get it in this round or something like that. Yeah.
Anything else?
Are they releasing more?
Supposedly in September they put in another order, so there's actually going to be more, and but not till September, right? But the thing is, they've already done some damage with people because there's people that are just like saying, oh, this is ridiculous, I've been supporting you guys, but you're going to talk to me like that, I'm just out. And here's GeForce. I've been highly offended by my criticism of Valaverse's website. But I think it's interesting.
I will tell you this up front. It's not just this one incident. It's like this combined with the last two times
Yes.
I've seen things go. This is like now the third
Third
time
time in like 2
that-
months that their
that this
website
has
was
happened. Okay,
not
and they
working.
respond poorly. That
Yes.
I'm kind of like I personally know people who have met these guys in person
Yes.
and personally vouched for them as great people.
Yes.
These
Yeah.
are good guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that, I should be like purchasing their products. And I have one or two of them. I've got
Yes.
the Sergeant Slaughter.
I hear the same thing, that they're so
But
great.
and I've considered a number of times, like, that figure looks cool, that figure looks cool. Maybe I'll get one or two more. But after these incidences and seeing how it's like I'm conflicted in my brain, because I'm like, these people I trust are saying they're great people.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yet,
yes.
when I see stuff like this happening online, I'm going, how can these great people be treating their customers this way?
Yeah.
Is it
I-
them?
it's-
Is
it's
it
like-
is it them though, or are they like so far
We don't-
removed from the
No,
day-to-day
no.
operations that they have like?
No, I think that the company is still small enough where the owner, CEO, whatever, really has a hand in like day to day,
Operations, yeah.
right? He's not the one.
They could be delegating too much, right?
Yeah. He may have like a social media person who maybe he had to pull in his office and have a conversation with.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, see, here's G-Force is saying, and he's one of these guys that I
Yeah,
trust. And
I
he
was
says,
going to say, this is an example right
they're
here.
good people.
Bobby
I
says,
want to believe him, but this is where my problem is. Have you ever like just met somebody and got a really good impression from them, and then met them later and spent time with them, and like maybe went to a restaurant or something, and then they just treat the wait staff like crap?
that's
Or
true. Yeah.
They're just
Well,
told
I
to-
would like I've always said, I bet you if you went into a bar and had a beer with Genghis Khan or someone, you'd
Right,
be totally
right.
fine sitting down with him having a beer. But then you walk out the door and he starts raping and killing all the women and children out in the street. You're like, what the hell?
But yeah, but it's an interesting conundrum, because I've been waiting patiently. I've wanted that Warpath Eclipse, Mr. B, hello. And I've been talking about it for a while. I think it's a really cool figure. And the thing is, it's like, I didn't get upset that they took them to another convention. You get what I'm saying? Like, when they announced it, it's a Joe Fest exclusive. This is the same use of the word exclusive that I think is like ridiculous.
Overboard,
right? Talk about it. If it's a Joe Fest exclusive and you're going to put the leftovers on your website, then it shouldn't go to other conventions, because the other conventions are not Joe Fest.
Yeah.
But if it's a convention exclusive, that's different. Then you should just haul it around from convention to convention and just sell it to people at conventions.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that they had some for sale at conventions and we're going to put them. I just didn't like the communication, because it was originally right after Joe Fest, we're going to throw them up on the website. And then a couple of weeks went by and it says, right after this convention, we're going to throw them up on the website. You know what I mean? So they were like added another convention, and they're going to PowerCon. And they've already said they're going to have some available at PowerCon. So the ones they threw up on their website, that's not all that they had.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
They could have mitigated this, it seems like, just by saying, or like adhering to the original plan to delay it like by one day.
A day. Yeah. And it'll give everybody equal opportunity, because there's people that who were sitting around trying to get it for like an hour or so, or half hour, or whatever it was, before they realized, oh, okay, this isn't working. But they said, oh, okay, good, I can come back tomorrow. I don't have to sit around at my computer for the rest of the day waiting for it to pop back up.
But part of me has the same sort of gripe with McFarlane right now and McFarlane Toys, because as much as I love what he's doing, he also does a terrible job of PR. Like, because they're like, okay, we're gonna put out the Batmobile with Batman as a gold label thing, where you get the car and the figure in one thing. We fixed the car so the hood is the same color as the car. Instead of getting a black car with a gray hood, you're now getting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he goes, we're gonna put it up at 10 a.m. I get on there at 9:30 and people are like, I bought it already and it's sold out.
Yeah.
I'm going, It's not even
ridiculous.
10
Oh,
a.m. yet. It's not 10 a.m. I wasn't even going to look at my phone till 10 a.m. Why did it go up at 9:30 and sell out in 10 minutes?
Did Target do the
You
same
know?
thing with that Vader? Because I felt like I was
No.
waiting till like 9.
It Vader and Apo and all the stuff from Friday with Target did launch like pretty much on time, like exactly on time. It was maybe like 30 seconds after, for me at least.
Okay.
But there have been cases of like stuff with Target launching like hours later, and you're just like refreshing constantly. But like Walmart will, like, God knows what they do. Sometimes it's like midnight.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But my problem was he did write out to the world in Twitter and said there will be more of them available later on. Well, why is there? What did you do? Did you go like, let's put 5,000 up now and see if they sell, and if they do sell, we'll put another 5,000 up at a random time?
You're talking about the McFarlane, the Batmobile thing.
It was a complete random time, because I literally was sitting here on my phone with the Apple app open, refreshing that listing for it, and I'm watching TV and I'm refreshing. I must have refreshed it for 3 hours. Okay, I go to the bathroom, come back, and they're like, oh, I just bought it. It's sold out again. I'm going, you're kidding me. Like, in the instant I had to go to the bathroom, it's sold out. Like, he just said, it's like McFarlane's got a camera in my condo, and he's like, he went to the bathroom, quick, put another 10,000 of them up for sale.
So Jonathan's saying that, he's saying, to be fair, he thinks that's an Amazon issue, not a McFarlane issue, right? But I get what you're saying. It's really funny, though, because when those links went out in the morning, I missed it. And when I went to Amazon to post the link on Twitter, they were available. And I was like, oh, they're available. They're not selling out. So I put the link, and then I saw that people were saying they were sold out. So I went back to look, and sure enough, it was sold out. So I was just happened to be there for the second that it was available. And I was like, oh, cool.
Gosh.
Share the link.
Because I would have bought one, but I'm not getting it now, I guess. And I've off and on been checking, but it's not.
I feel bad. I got one.
But I
shouldn't feel bad. I mean, they're cool. I mean,
but I have this sneaky feeling that I'm gonna just walk into a Target and there's gonna be 12 on the shelf before anyone gets their order who ordered it. It'll be there next week. Like, it'll just suddenly be there next week. Yeah,
with Target exclusives, it's all going to be the same thing. Yeah,
they're not going to ship them. They're going to put them in
even though this is an Amazon exclusive, is what I'm saying. The gold label Batmobile will be sitting at Target with Batman in the case in a nice window box at Target next week. You know what I mean? Because that stuff happens. It just doesn't make any sense. But
I was unable to get the open helmet Vader from Target on the pre-order, but I'm hopeful that I'm going to be. What?
Oh no! I just went to the collector spot page, and it says add to cart for Apo and Vader. But when you click on the individual product pages, it says pre-orders has sold out. That's so misleading.
Somebody did buy it today, though. Somebody did buy it today. They posted a picture that they bought it today, but I wasn't able to pre-order. But I'm fairly confident I'm going to be able to buy it on clearance before any of those pre-orders ship. So I'm not stressing about it. And then I have my custom. So I mean, if I don't find one, I don't find one.
I just want to make sure I get my Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth.
What I want to know is, do you think Rum has like his little bot going around just putting random comments up?
Oh yeah.
I'm just messing around.
I just have massive respect for like capitalizing random characters, because pretty much just hitting shift like sporadically at the keyboard. Like, I don't think I could type like that. That takes talent.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really like diapers either, because they do get. I mean, like, it is damp once you go, and then it's just uncomfortable.
So, John, I have a question. I know you're talking about diapers, but I have another question related to diapers.
To diapers? Okay.
Yeah. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 came out in theaters. Did you take a shower this week?
I did, but I did not go watch the movie. I'm taking showers for no reason some days. I'm not even going to the theater. I'm just taking a shower and being like, what the hell? Why did I do that? I'm just going to sit on the couch. Why did I take a shower?
So, Eric, did you see it?
I haven't seen the past like several
Okay.
Mission Impossible movies.
That's like one of my favorite movie franchises.
Oh, they're
So-
good. Yeah.
I'd go see them. I think I maybe saw the first one that Simon Pegg was in, and then
Yeah.
haven't seen the rest.
He's hilarious.
Oh, I love Simon Pegg.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then-
Do they have diapers with Yoda on them? I'll buy those. Yeah. Where?
I think
The guys got me. You know, the other day Andy from Holo Chronicles throws me a picture of all this vintage Yoda stuff he found, like suspenders and a vintage poncho.
And you're like, oh,
all these
wait,
other-
why don't I
and
have
he's
those in my
just-
collection?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't have Yoda suspenders in my collection, you know? And he's
and now
like,
you're
yeah.
searching for them on
So
eBay.
no, he sold me this pile of Yoda stuff, and he's
Oh, that's nice
sending
of
it
him.
to me in the mail. So
Ah, what a guy.
he's on, like, I think he's got this, people out there are now like, anytime I see Yoda stuff, I'm just gonna buy it. John's gonna buy it for me, so everyone's making money off me.
Just with Yoda stuff. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Now you're looking around for Yoda stuff you can sell me.
I have up here. I'm not going to grab it because it's behind like my Mac Classic, but it's the talking Yoda, the one that like it's an older one. So he stood on a table and would like say wise phrases to you.
I think I might have that one.
So my grandkids used to pull his hair because it's like cotton, and then they'd feed it to him while he's talking. He's got a couple of bald spots in the back, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, someone sent me a picture of a Yoda bong, like, and like you can buy them online for like $30, and I'm considering getting one.
Well, there's the new Home Depot holiday Yoda.
Yes, yeah, that
I sent you. Yeah,
I don't know where I'm gonna put it.
Oh, is that little statue thing? Is he?
He's like 3 or 4 foot tall. I mean, I don't know where I'm gonna put him.
This is like, have you been naughty or nice or something? He's like got a Santa hat, and his eyes are just terrified. His eyes just look terrified. He's like, naughty you've been.
It looks creepy as hell. So you know what the first thing I'm gonna do, right? Because I live with my dad. I'm gonna set it up after he goes to bed, so that when he gets up in the middle of the night, it's gonna walk by and he's gonna be like, you know, like.
It's terrifying. If you haven't seen it, look this thing up. It's like going to be $200 or something like that at Home Depot in August or September.
It'll go on sale though within a couple months. It won't
It's
be
for
that
Christmas, right?
Yeah, but it won't be that.
They have a Halloween setup for it as well.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a different hat you put on them or something, probably.
Oh, you just change it out?
Yeah.
Here, I'll find the link and send it, Vern.
But I bet it'll be on discount at some point. Like, it might be up for Halloween at full price, and then in between Halloween and Christmas, it'll hit a discount. Then it'll be back up at full price during Christmas. You know, because I saw that with there was a Jack Skellington that looks awesome.
But you gotta play the video because the audio is just like watching it with the. I haven't seen audio for the Halloween, but the audio for the Christmas one is just terrifying.
That one's better with the hat. I like that hat.
But his eyes just like he looks coked out of his mind.
Was that an ad for diapers? Did we just?
Yes, we just
like they know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
See, I tell you.
Okay, so this story doesn't have the link to it.
Yeah.
The video. So let me see if I can find a link to the video.
Here, I'm sending it on.
But like a year or so
Is it
ago,
is it going to be on YouTube though?
Is it on YouTube? I don't know.
The video. I don't want to reuse anybody's content.
Yeah.
It's just the Home Depot ad.
Right.
Like a year or so ago, they had a tall Jack Skellington, like the one we just saw in that picture there, and he was like $200 or $300. But then like a week or two after Halloween, he was like $50. And I almost bought him because I was like, whoa, look how much he's marked down. It's like super cheap. And he was cool because he'd say phrases from the show and move his hands and do it. And I was like, this is so cool, but I didn't know where I would put him, so I didn't buy it. But they drastically mark some of that stuff down.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to make it full screen. And then, oh no, I can't make it full screen because I can't. Darn it.
Do you want me to share it? I know how to do this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think I got it, but we'll see if it plays the music.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Our wise little friend is getting festive. It's the all-new animated holiday Yoda.
Enjoy the festivities, you will.
Very wise with season's greetings is he. With much Jedi excitement, you'll see. Yoda's motion-activated gestures will captivate all your guests.
That's dangerous with that lightsaber.
And his
It could cut
knowing
somebody.
eyes see who's been naughty or nice.
Have much fun together, we will.
May the Holy Spirit be with you. And the all-new animated holiday Yoda.
Oh my gosh. It should have said, it can tell who's a Sith or not.
I'm just thinking like that thing could go like full on like Chucky and be like, naughty, I've been.
If
Exactly, G-Force. Yeah, I was thinking it looks more like Gollum or
Gollum,
Smeagol
yeah.
than-
You know what would be
than
hilarious?
Yoda.
So, Eric, when your daughter's a little bit older and you could dress her up like a Yoda outfit, right? And you can film that thing and then do like a cut thing where she's standing in the same spot and go, "No, I'll get you," and then just chase you guys around.
I've got a little Ewok. I've got a little Ewok costume for Halloween.
If GBT4 can control it, then we're all out for. It's going to be a terrible sight.
This AI thing is like everywhere. I would just tell you, I'm not trying to give away a spoiler, but that new Mission Impossible is about AI.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
So I just thought it was like timely, right? Like with all the discussion and stuff like that. And then Elon Musk is saying that Twitter's broken because of AI, right?
Oh, sure it is.
Because all the AI is scraping the data from Twitter. That's what he's trying to prevent. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Kill it with fire. The correct answer is quick, kill it before it spawns more of them.
Right. All right. So anyways,
all I want is the donut, by the way.
the donut, that looks really cool.
Yeah, that's all I want.
All right, so here is the update on the HasLab. We have reached the 17,008 now, right?
Yeah.
So just under 2,000 away from the newest Crazy Legs. Now you've always wanted Crazy Legs in your G.I. Joe Classified collection, right, John?
No, I don't think I've ever mentioned that I wanted him.
Does this weird, like, do you think this is just as much of a letdown as this Glinda thing was?
Well, I'm on the edge of canceling my order. I'm dead serious.
Just because of these two?
No, well, it's a little bit of all three now because I didn't mind the ripcord, but now I'm just kind of like, do I really want to spend $275 and get three figures that I don't really want when it comes down to it? Like if these were out as single release, I probably wouldn't buy them.
Well, here's my question: because they're like limited to this run, do you think that Crazy Legs would yield $40 or $50 on the secondary market?
To big diehard fans, you're probably right. Yeah,
and then Ripcord maybe about the same, right?
You might be even more for Ripcord.
So then you're looking at $175 for Glinda, Wild Bill, and a helicopter.
So if you don't want them, you could just sell
You
them.
really
Yeah.
think
Subsidize.
I get
your
what
purchase.
you're saying. Yeah, subsidize my purchase.
I mean,
Because
even
I do want the Dragonfly and Wild Bill.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I guess you're right. Because these are coming in their own box, right?
yes. And this
See,
should
the weird thing about it though is then I'd have a broken up set. I wouldn't have the, you know what I mean? But yeah.
But I mean, is it really a broken up set? Because you don't really keep anything in the box, right? You maybe keep the box, but you are going to open this. It's going to be displayed.
Oh,
and
I'm
you're going to
displaying
display it with your other classified figures. And since you don't really care about Ripcord or this guy that practically looks like Ripcord except for a different helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like getting rid of one of those two, if we get to that fourth tier or the third tier or whatever.
Wait a minute, she's not even unlocked? I thought
she's
unlocked at 16,000.
Yeah, that one's unlocked. I just used an old picture. It's unlocked.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay.
So I mean, at this point, like same, right? Like I think I can ditch Ripcord in this because out of the two, I mean, I like the Glinda and I like the Wild Bill, and if I can get $40 or for Ripcord or something like that, I think that's a pretty decent,
I would think you'll get more than 40. You might even get close to 100 for Ripcord because
my problem is that like when I do that, I don't want to go crazy and try to get some maximum amount. Like
I'm not saying that would be the max. I'm saying you could probably still even be the lowest person on eBay. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, like I like to undercut whatever the
because that's what I do too.
When another collector, it's also helps another collector get something at a more reasonable price, right? Like that's the way I always like to look at it. In a way, right? Like I'm not trying to like make all my money back off of one figure or something like that.
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is I've never bothered to try and sell anything from HasLab before. Yeah. I just keep it all, and I put it, if I don't use it, I put it back in the box and just have it out, but or have it stored. But it's because I don't know. I think I kind of think it's ridiculous that some of the prices these things go for the minute they're.
Yeah, the minute that's the problem too, is you got to get it early. Because like, the ones that came with Galactus, those ones were all selling for like $50-$60, those 3 figures. But then like after a couple of months, nobody was looking at them anymore. So I'm answering.
What figures were they?
The Silver Surfer, the Nova or whatever.
Oh yeah, because those were figures nobody wanted though.
Yeah. So I still have them still in the plastic. I've never pulled them off the little plastic.
Oh, mine are standing with Galactus.
Yeah, no, I got because I got Galactus on the carpet down here with
they're clipped onto his.
Yeah,
one's clipped onto his ear thing.
Yes.
One's clipped onto his hand. One's on his hand, and the other one's standing by his feet.
Yeah, you have that awesome video you did.
Do you think this is getting the extra 2,000 or so?
I think
in 2 days.
It has 2.5 days. I think it has a really good shot at getting to the 19,000. I think
you'll see a big surge in the last couple hours where it'll suddenly get. It might not go that far over 19, but it'll get there just because the toy stores will all come in and buy 50 or so.
Yeah, I don't think with this there's any reason to buy 2 to try to resell one, because I think there's already enough people that are going to have them available in the secondary market that it'll make it like that Razor Crest, where in the very beginning it might go for a lot, but then it's going to drop way down.
What I don't understand is how the sale barge has sustained its value when every store that I know of, I can go around here and every store has at least one, and most of the stores have 2 or 3 of the sale barge in their shop, still marked at $1,500, and I haven't seen one sell in like 3 years. You know what I mean? So I'm going, how can you have hung on to that for 3 years and never sold it, and you still haven't marked it down? Like, why do you have to get $1,500 for it?
Yeah,
wasn't it like 500 or something?
Yeah, I know somebody that's got 2 of them in his rafters in his garage. Never opened them because he doesn't have the space, and he's holding on to one for the value of it. I think that there's a little bit of personally, I think there's a little bit of a lore behind that because it was like that initial HasLab offering.
That first thing.
Yeah, it was like the first thing, and not a whole lot of people jumped on it, right? I mean, there were a lot of people it backed, but it wasn't like, you're not getting like 20,000 people buying it.
Yeah. Because there's been a lot of things that I just think like I don't see anyone buying it, but nobody's
reducing
marking
the
stuff
price.
down. Like it's I guess it's the same kind of with like I see a lot of Razor Crest still for $500 or $600, and I'm going, but none of them are selling.
Right.
Like I know a store a few miles up by my mom's that has 20 Razor Crests in their shop.
Yeah,
and he still has them marked at $600. And I'm going, wouldn't you want to start selling those? Like you haven't sold one in a year, and you've got 20 of them stacked up there. Isn't that like hurting your business? Because it's like
it's weird.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, check this out. Like, so the comic book store down the street had one of those Comic-Con Jabba the Hutts with the little rum figure, and they were asking $300 for it. And I remember going in there one time. I remember they were like $40 at Comic-Con. And I remember telling the guy, hey, I'll give you 125. And he refused. He was like, there's no way I'm taking that. Okay, here we are a couple of years later, and I'm going to get one for like 80.
And his is still sitting there for $300 probably, right? Yeah.
Yeah, collecting dust, but they just re-released it now. So now I'm getting one for 80, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many barges? Jonathan's saying that he thinks there were like 8,000 barges. And I think that's right. I mean,
but I guess what I mean is it doesn't matter how many were released. I'm just
nobody's
saying,
buying it. How is it still that value?
Yeah, if not a single person in America or in the world is actually paying $1,500 for it, and all the ones that are for sale are just sitting there for years and no one's selling it, why hasn't the price come down to try and sell those? You know what I mean? You're gonna hit a price where people are gonna start going, well, now it's at a price where I would buy one. You know what I mean? Like the whole supply and demand thing, they're not letting it like find its fair market value. They're just insisting on getting the 1,500 and no one's buying it. And it's like that with a lot of HasLabs. It's not just that. It's like I'm saying, the shop I know up by my mom who has 20 Razor Crests for $600, and he refuses to lower the price, but he's had them all 20 for like a year and a half now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So how
it's a weird thing in the head, right? Like I used to turn stuff around from Goodwill on eBay. So I would go to Goodwill and buy VCRs, and they sold VCRs for like $4. I'd go look for the 4-head VCRs, the Sonys and stuff like that. They'd be $4.99, and people on eBay would pay like $25-$30 for a VCR that's in working condition. So I'd make sure it's working, I'd clean the heads, all that stuff, and then post it. And so like some days I would go get a VCR, or I might find like a vintage stapler, and I might find like some other vintage book or some old book. And I'd spend like maybe like $10-$12, and then like I'd sell the VCR for 30. I'd sell the stapler for like 25. I've definitely made my money back, right? But I have this like Stephen King book, that should be valued at like $40. And in my head is like, I'm not selling this for $20 because I think it should be valued at 40. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even
so you sold enough, you're selling enough staplers and VCRs.
I'm already in a profit margin. Yeah. So I could sell that book for $1 and it wouldn't make a difference. Money, but that was back.
You're just not going to budge. Yeah.
So I think that's what happened with him. He was like, they calculated their bottom line and they said these have to go for 600, and now they're just taking up shelf space. And what's going to end up happening is if they ever close down, they're going to go for like $50.
Yeah. Because what gets me is like, I think because on a couple things like the Sentinel, the HasLab Sentinel, and especially with the Sentinel coming out with a broken leg, like I fully expected to be able to find one for $100 to $150.
Nope.
And I still can't. You still can't find one.
Yeah.
For cheaper than what it is. Even though now nobody's talking about the Sentinel. Like not a single person has it on their mind as something they want to get or talk about it. You know what I mean?
But that
So
could
I'm like,
change. But that could change because with the onset of this 90s X-Men or this rebirth of this X-Men animated
yeah,
show,
that's true. That could make it go up even.
restore
Yeah.
interest in having an actual 1/12 scale Sentinel or whatever, right? So it
Yeah.
could surge a little bit for some newer collectors that maybe didn't get them. But like people don't want to pay, they want you to lose money now on your investment, right? They won't even probably buy it from you for what you paid. And I think that happened with Galactus.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. I don't want to pay what the Sentinel was, and if I
Right.
didn't already own Galactus, I wouldn't pay what Galactus was selling for. It's
What
kind of like
about-
it's kind of the same way with Victory Saber and Deathosaurus from the Transformers.
Yes.
I actually was a backer of both of those until like with Deathosaurus, it was Galactus came out. I'm going to cancel the Transformer and
Yeah,
get
okay.
Galactus. So because I couldn't buy two at the same time. So
Sure, it was a marketing flaw on their part.
yeah. So, but I would have bought it if that was the only one out. And Victory Saber, I think at the time, right, I was like, if I have the money when I have to pay for it, I'll get it. But that weekend, it hit on a weekend when I didn't get paid, and I had used my budget for something else, and I was like, crap. I'm like, if I let it go through, I'm $20 short, so I can't let it go through. So I literally canceled at midnight the night before, right before it would have sent the check in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still want Victory Saber and Deathosaurus, and I really thought when I was canceling those that somewhere down the road in the future, I'll probably be able to find them for $100 each, because
I have a feeling
they're obscure Transformers that not a lot of people are going to want. They weren't in the cartoons. Unless you watch the Japanese stuff, no one's going to know who they really are,
But how many sold?
Well, it backed. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean that's the difference, right? Like when you look at Galactus, it was like extraordinary numbers, and that was probably almost every Marvel Legends collector. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and then with Galactus, I mean the Sentinel, a lot of people bought multiples.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's kind of why I'm getting at. Why didn't it go down if people bought multiples?
Because people bought multiples because they want them in their dios, right? You don't just have one Sentinel fighting a group of X-Men.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's like, because I still have one boxed in my garage.
Really?
Yeah, brand new, still boxed. Anybody wants to make me an offer, let me know.
$150. I already said it.
It's not going to be $150. It's brand new. The outer box is the only thing that's ever been open. I didn't even open the inner cardboard box.
Yeah,
that holds the actual decorative box and stuff like that. So
yeah, it was a box inside a box inside a box. I remember
those. So it's been sitting there in the corner and never opened. GeForce $3. Anyways, and then we have another crowdfund. Oh, I think
this again. Has this moved? I don't check it.
I think it got 45 more backers. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, dude. So definitely not getting those little tombstone things with all the dinosaur pictures on it. And I doubt it at all it's going to get you anywhere near getting the dinosaur. So I really think that you're looking at this going, there's just no way it's going to back.
Well, you know what? Just the other day, I was in Target, and the dinosaur and the car were marked down to $25 in that 2-pack. So
$4. Yeah,
and it's the same scale. It's the same truck and dinosaur, just painted different. So I don't see how that could be an add-on to make it worthwhile.
Yeah,
it's marked down at a store right now.
Yeah,
and to tell you the truth, Lex and the kid is marked down to like $12 in the but they come in that kitchen set with the two raptors. Lex and Billy, what's his name? Lex and Billy or something? I don't know what the hell.
And I just don't know, like, did these retain their value? Because I found that one, the what's the one called that swims?
The Mosasaur?
Yeah, I found one of those at Goodwill for like $7.
Well, that's Goodwill. I mean, they don't mark things
No,
up
but
at those places.
But I'm saying it. Then I went to Target and saw one in the box, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's
It was
$7."
probably marked down to like $20, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they were, I think those were like $40 when they came out. Those
So I'm just like, to me,
the
I'm
big
like,
mosasaur.
yeah. I mean, it's not gonna. Will this retain its value? Is the other
No,
part of it too, right? Like I don't
no,
think.
it's like Jonathan says. There's too much reuse in the set.
Yeah,
The two kids, the truck, and the T-Rex are all on the shelves right now, but they're being marked down at Target. So that's too much reuse of product that people don't really want to spend their money on. That's why it's being marked down.
right. Sonny saying exchange rate would be the argument. Oh, they're talking about because like I think buying these deals
Yes, in the
and
UK,
having
in
them shipped
Australia
and
is super.
yeah, the
Yeah.
exchange rate, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I know that is that Super 7 Thundercats thing a crowdfund as well?
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't put any pictures of it in here, but it did look pretty cool. I didn't know, couldn't remember if we talked about it last week or not. We're gonna start this. What? Go ahead.
But do all those Super 7 Deluxe things, like, how much? I'm asking because I just bought that Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and clearly he isn't holding his value because he's around $60 to $65 on the Super 7 website, but I paid $30 for him at a secondary store like Entertainment Earth because they clearly weren't selling them, so they're marking them half price or less.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
They must not retain any value, even though they're a deluxe. I mean, it's a really nice deluxe version of Krang. If you watch my video on it, I did the other day.
John, is Super 7 makes a bunch of stuff, but I just don't think. I mean, to me, I feel like they're like Funko Pops, right? Like there's a real small a group that's like, yeah, I got to have all the Super 7.
So they make
stuff.
more than they need. They make more than the demand is what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a different kind of a market, right? Like they're marketing or whatever. It's not for me, right? I don't really feel like people saying, yeah, I got to go get Super 7 stuff. I feel like it's more the casual collectors that want to get something that looks kind of vintage cool, right?
No,
like
this is not what I'm talking about, though. This is the deluxe. Like, it's like a Hot Toy version of Krang.
Oh, and
you know what I mean?
Super
yeah,
7.
It's Super 7's deluxe. You know how they make those 6 or 8 inch GI Joes that are fully super articulated and everything? It's that level, but it's their Ninja Turtle line.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think I may have some pictures of some in here.
See, you didn't watch my video, did you? See how you are?
I didn't. I haven't. Honestly, I haven't had a chance to watch.
I don't care. I'm just making it funny.
And I almost closed down my whole YouTube thing.
Yeah, there's Super 7 is kind of
videos.
Super 7 is kind of two different companies. They have that retro cheap look, which is overpriced, and then they have these deluxe, like they're almost like they're not really Hot Toy level. They're like a step down, but they're kind of like a 3.0 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Are they? Is it wearing cloth outfits and stuff like that?
Oh, some of their stuff does. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen any. I'll have to look. There is actually a Super 7 store here in San Diego that I'm planning to go to when I go down.
It's kind of like a 3.0, like sort of thing where some of it's cloth, some of it's plastic, depending on what part of it is, you know.
Vern, are you going to Comic-Con?
So I don't have tickets to Comic-Con, so I'm not going to go in. But I am going to go probably downtown and try to do as much outside activity stuff. They frown upon like ticket swapping and stuff like that, but somebody did reach out to me and said that they have some extra tickets if I'm interested in buying them. And I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, because next Friday should be the HasLab
reveal. Yeah. I think I went to one Hasbro panel last year. No, 2. I went to the Star Wars panel and I went to the Marvel Legends panel only.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Is this when you said the Marvel Legends team was like, "Hello,
No.
Vernon."
So on the first day, it was Wednesday, it was preview night. I went by the booth and I ran into Dan there,
Oh, it was Dan.
and I just I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And he said that to me, and I was wearing a mask, so it was all masked up. So he still recognized me with my mask, so there was no sneaking around there. But yeah, it was obvious he didn't really care for me very much, but whatever.
Oh,
They were still nice. I mean, the people at the booth were nice for the most part, but they have to be because they got to put on a front. But like, if I had just met him in the booth, I'd probably come back and tell you what a great guy he is. But because I've had other interactions and stuff like that.
Oh, I guess I got to take some of this back. I mean, the GI Joe Sky Striker HasLab only has 20 hours left to go, and it's only $1.25.
Oh, well, I'm just about to bid you up.
So I'm gonna have to watch this, and if it goes for like $50 or less, I'll just buy it. And if I get it for $2, then I get it for $2.
So Salacious is saying the DeLorean is 110 and compatible with NECA figures. Oh, what's he talking about? Let's see. They don't produce that many when you think about a gap. Most of them down the road, you miss the re-release. It's a pretty penny. Oh, they're talking about your Super 7, right? I guess they just do the initial runs or whatever, but they don't redo them or something. Daniel will punch me if we ever meet. I've been bugging him for a year, asking for a movie Carnage figure in every tweet he makes. Yeah, I've been like tweeting whenever he has been tweeting stuff out. I've been trying to like write, I'm available to work at your booth coming up, but he hasn't responded. I think he has me like muted or something like that.
Yeah, he just doesn't like you.
All right, is this what you're talking about? Or are these the Ninja Turtles? This is NECA.
No, these are NECA. Yeah.
So I almost want to say this is Elektra, but it's not, right? This is from the Ronin series.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
Not Elektra.
Well, I gotta go to the
right.
washroom.
All right.
Yeah, my bladder's saying I need to go.
Well, be sure to check Amazon while
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it's gonna sell out.
So it's funny, like Gap saying, wonder if you can find out how many people muted you. So I use this thing. It used to be called TweetsMap, but it's something else now. I can't remember what it is. I think Rum turned me on to it. And I'm going to check out that Kickstarter in a minute. But like basically what it does is it shows you who your new followers are every week on Twitter. And then it will show you who unfollowed you. So like what I've noticed with that app or that thing is people who follow you just to get you to follow them back, and then they immediately unfollow you. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that do that. Okay, so here's the Black Chrysanthemum Vintage Collection, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Are you collecting vintage collection?
I have a little bit of vintage collection. I have like some Mando stuff, and I have like Jabba's Palace and like Alien kind of stuff. So I'm waiting to get the Jabba's Palace set that should ship out in August or September or whatever. So I will be trying to get this because this looks cool.
Okay, I like the packaging on this. They do this kind of packaging for Comic-Con often, where they did that the red Sith trooper, and then he had his weapons pull out the side and stuff like that. So the way they did this packaging is telling me that there's going to be this exact thing is going to be released in a regular package.
It's been for sale.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. So they just changed the package. Is there anything new?
The vintage collection?
Yeah, the weapons and the head sculpt.
Okay, so we're a little bit different. Okay, I think it looks great. I don't collect the vintage collection, but it might be something that I would consider because I thought the Black Chrysanthemum is actually a cool character.
Oh yeah.
All right. So unfortunately, there's no hot emojis anymore. There's no ice emojis anymore. Because of reasons.
I guess I should have brought my phone and been one-handing it and tried to.
That's okay. And then, are you guys into this $700?
I'm going to get it. I played the games when they came out when I was in college, and I really liked them. The one thing I'm disappointed about with this is that it, and it's not going to deter me from not getting it. I feel like it was a little bit lazy just to package two
Regular
standard
stormtroopers in there.
Stormtroopers. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, just throw in some different stormtroopers. What I think a lot of people would have really liked. Well, I wouldn't have wanted them to do this as an exclusive, but you could have done one of the alternate
Right.
Star Killer looks, but you don't want like an exclusive like figure with like the
Well-
Sith armor or whatever.
But Hasbro doesn't care about using the word exclusive anyways. The exclusive part of this is just the way it's packaged with two stormtroopers.
No, I know, but
So GeForce did the math. I did the math. It's $110. If you say the stormtroopers are $25 a piece, this is a $60 Star Killer figure.
yeah. I'll be getting, I mean, if nothing else, it's cool to have some extra swoosh effects for the lightsabers. That's something we haven't seen since Dooku.
So,
you got that cool splash thing. I mean,
yeah. So the $60 is the hands with the lightning on them. You got two other
Force
sets of
push
hands.
thing.
You're gonna have 3 total heads, right? And you got that splash thing. You got that other hand that has what the Iceman ice thing.
I think it's like force push type. I think that's what they're trying to do.
I thought it was the Iceman.
well, I thought the figure would balance on that, and you put it in the middle of the splash, so he's kind of up in the air, balanced on that other
maybe.
hand.
That will
and
be
it looks
something
like
for
the force
collecting-
is coming down and then splashing out.
Steve-O from Collecting Star Wars will definitely do a balancing video.
Those are awesome, by the way.
Yeah. And then it comes with a lightsaber and Cyclops' like laser beam.
Yeah.
No, that's what I always want is like that lightsaber piece that makes it looks like it's flashing. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
they
the
do
only
it for
figure we
red
got that with
red
was-
and blue blades.
Didn't
So
we? I
somebody's
think we
trying
only
to
got it with
jump into
Dooku,
the
right?
stream.
Yep.
But it's like I don't know who it is, and they're just showing the grocery store. So that's gonna be
You're
annoying.
showing a grocery store.
Yeah, somebody's down there trying to pretend like they want to join the stream, but they're walking around. It's some dude. He hasn't been to the barber shop in about a year and a half. He looks all scruffy. Let's see how annoying this gets.
Anonymous Walmart shopper.
All right, let's turn his volume down.
Who is this?
Yeah,
American hot dogs.
All right, but we're doing our hot or not section. So are you looking at the figures?
Oh, do I have the wrong channel?
Yes.
The Walmart Shoppers Anonymous YouTube channel.
American hot dogs.
So this is not necessarily Comic-Con exclusive, right? This was a Collector Con, Walmart Collector Con, which
What,
is
the hot dog?
no the
Oh,
G.I. Joe
Oh,
classified.
I've never seen this GI Joe person in my life,
You've never
so I
seen
don't
this
know who she
character?
is. I don't know who she is.
Well, it's Shooter.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought the weird part about this was when they did the promo pics, the arms stuck out kind of really far from the body, but somebody pointed out it's like Lady Jane's arms or whatever, and it looks like it's the legs from Scarlet or whatever. So basically, it's just the body and the head that's new. But I like it. I mean, I like the fact that it has the gas mask head with the reversed cap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
That's not a reverse cap. That's her hair.
Oh, is that the hair? I thought it was a
Yeah,
cap.
that's hair.
Okay, well, I think it looks pretty cool. Even the shoes, walking around with like high tops that aren't even like fully tied up, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's very tactical.
It
'Cause-
looks cool, but it's not something I would buy because I don't know the figure. I don't know the character that much. So,
oh, this is
like, I'm weirded out. I'm weirded out because I'm trying to figure out who. I'm trying to figure out who Agent Barkley and Noah Diaz are, because I'm like, I've never seen it. I don't think there's a Noah Diaz in GI Joe at all.
Yeah, they
And
work.
there's no Agent Barkley, like, or whatever the heck his name was. So I'm like, who are these people?
They worked with Glenda.
Is that what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
like, why couldn't that have been General Flag or Sergeant Hawk or someone like that?
Hey,
Like, recruiting-
Anonymous Walmart shopper, somebody wants to see your face because they don't know who you are.
We heard his voice. So isn't that enough?
No, they didn't know who he was. There you go. Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Sorry if I startled all the kids.
All right. Yeah, so that Mondo Prince Adam San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. And then of course you're gonna get this
a new Alley Viper, huh?
Alley Viper.
I'm getting 2 of these. I like the crimson skins for these.
This is a better color scheme than the orange, in my opinion. I
agree with you. That orange one just looks.
But how much are they buying? Are they asking for this?
I think it's 25.
Oh, okay. It's not.
I could tell you in a sec. I've got it figured in.
I think it's going to be 25 because it's the Walmart one. Because it looks like it's got a bunch of accessories where it would be.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it looks like crazy amount.
But I think it's just your standard trooper. Pass on prefer the orange. Okay, Jonathan prefers the orange Alley Viper. I'm going to get a bunch of those orange Alley Vipers and do a photo where they're like directing traffic on the highway. In a construction zone.
That's a good one.
And then this is probably the best one that I saw this week. This Mallrat looks fantastic.
Nope. Never seen this guy either. No. Don't know who.
But I think he looks cool. He's got like a gas mask head. He's got this like I don't consider him a zombie. I think he's.
Is there like a new show or a new thing coming out that has some of these characters in it?
I don't know. I thought I don't know.
The Crimson Alley Viper's 25.
Yeah. I just think this guy looks really cool.
And where do you get these?
These are on the Walmart Collector Con.
So like at Walmart, not a Collector Con.
Yeah,
I'm going to a convention to buy them. They're at Walmart.
At Walmart. They won't be available until next week, but you can go to their landing pages and see them and stuff like that. And like
the 18th.
Yeah, add them to your list so it's easier to like score. Get them when they go live. But I think they look cool.
I could see getting a Crimson Viper, but if I don't get it, I'm not going to cry either. So, and these two other figures, I don't have an interest in. If I knew there was a new cartoon and this character had a role in that new cartoon, and something was going on, I might get it and be like, okay, I know what's going on with this guy, but just making a figure that's never been in anything. Never been in the comics, never been in the cartoons, never been in any of the movies. It has no association with G.I. Joe. We just made this up to stick it in as a toy. Like, I just don't get what's going on here.
But here's John. You know what would be appropriate for the anonymous Walmart person to be in the toy section showing us what they got on the shelves. But
just a bunch of Dudley Do-Right figures.
Is this your channel or something?
Yeah, not like in the food section. I mean, come on. Anyways, I think the idea is like, for somebody like me that's like Action Force, G.I. Joe, and I'm just complimenting the line with other figures because it's good for photography or it's good for this. And I'm mix and matching heads on some of my action figures or whatever to change what the characters might look like. It's a little bit different, right? So this adds like a little bit of difference. It's kind of like getting that zombie Iron Man or the zombie Captain America or something like that.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't buy figures for that. I don't mod any.
No, I know. Yeah. But
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And then of course, Chuckles, right?
This I would get. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know this guy's
he was a lame figure when he came out. No one bought Chuckles when he came out. No one understood why he was a G.I. Joe guy.
I think just for fun.
Everyone making fun of him and laughing about him when we were kids.
This dude's this guy's like 30 or something like that, right? And so it's much more than
he's more expensive than the Alley Viper.
Yeah, so he's considered
better accessories.
He's an exclusive, comes with special packaging, and it's like a deluxe. So here's the Valaverse version of Chuckles, right? In a way. And I almost kind of wish that Chuckles had like a loose shirt on top instead of it tucked in because of the type of shirt it is. So that's my only complaint, really. But I mean, like, he comes with a boatload of stuff.
This is the San Diego Comic-Con one?
Yeah.
This compared to what they have last year, Mindbender or something.
Yeah, it was the Mindbender.
Yeah, this is a step back from that. Mindbender was cool as shit.
Well,
this is kind of like
if this is an exclusive, there's no reason to buy it at Comic-Con then, because he'll come out with less accessories and probably only the one head in a regular box like 6 months from now.
Yeah, so this guy right here, he's got the two heads, one with the black eye, one without, right? I like the handcuffs that it comes with. Those are going to be useful for other stuff. And
the box of gold bars is cool.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the sunglasses come off. So. This is the Super 7. Is this the scale you're talking about, John? The 7-inch? These are the 7-inch, so they're going to have a Baroness, Crimson Baroness, and then we got the Destro.
Yeah.
Right. So I think they look kind of cool. I'm not really. No, a regular Mindbender has not come out yet. Yeah, Rick was showing Barbies a minute ago. So these are kind of cool, but like, would you collect these, John? These Super 7?
Yeah, but aren't these the like $65, $70 ones?
Yeah, because they're like 7 inches. I think they're probably like 40.
And what I'm saying,
they're like 120 here in Canada.
What I'm saying is, are these holding their value, or are they like the Ninja Turtle ones that 4 or 5 months after they come out, they're half price because no one's buying them?
Yeah, the problem with these is I just don't think that they hold together very well. They're like the not NECA, but the Diamond Selects, where like maybe the leg pops off or something like that, or the McFarlanes. They just, from what I've seen people snap the arms a lot and that type of stuff on these figures.
Interesting.
But they did tease this one, which looks kind of cool with that coffee and donut.
I'm just saying I want the donut. Yeah.
Donuts.
Yeah. So I like to see when the full picture of this. I don't know if it's come out yet since I took this picture down.
This is probably Fred.
I like it. It's cool.
Fred Crimson Guard, who eventually took over as Cobra Commander.
Oh, it could be, right?
Yeah.
Would it have been funny if they gave him more of a belly because he donut eater?
Yeah, see, there you go. Jonathan's saying it. It's a tease for Fred. Yeah.
Okay. Fred. Red Jackal. Okay, let's see. And then of course, this is the Comic-Con. I think this is the Comic-Con one, right? Like the gold label Batman.
That's a good looking Batman. So.
Yeah. I think it looks good. I love the packaging on it. It looks fantastic to me.
Yeah.
This is definitely one that if I got, I would keep in the package. Oh, I don't have that, by the way, Rick. Was unable to find them.
I didn't get it either.
Wait, hold on.
$5?
$5?
I've never seen that one in my stores, and it's only $5 for Rick.
I think it's been opened.
Oh,
I'm gonna need that figure.
But I don't think anything's missing.
I am gonna need that one.
You're okay
if it's?
Yeah, I don't care.
He's gonna open it anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it's been swapped out or anything. It looks
just package was damaged. The
you know what's crazy about it? It was $13.98. So one that's not ripped open is supposedly $13.98, and I can't even get one.
Yeah, they're not even out here. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll grab this for you, Vern.
Okay, cool. Thanks. See, I was watching. I was paying attention down there.
Ooh, Chewies.
That guy's $20 right now in Target.
Yeah.
Get it, man. It's one of the toys of the year.
Yeah. Okay, so then we got the re-release of the 6-armed Spider-Man and Morbius. Anybody interested in this guy?
I have them both on their own. I don't need to buy the dual pack re-release.
So this Spider-Man's a little bit different because he's got the ab thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, does the other one that I have not have an ab?
Yeah, it supposedly doesn't have the ab crunch. So this one was updated, and
I like the 6-arm one I have. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember when they went on clearance. I think I grabbed like 2 of them, so I got them stuffed away somewhere because I kept saying, "Oh, I'm gonna custom something."
Looks cool, but those red pins coming through on the blue part.
Yeah, that does look weird,
jarring.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks weird. How did that happen? Like what? Oh, because the other side is red. I get you. Okay.
Yeah,
So they had to pick a color, red or blue.
yeah, they had to pick something. And then
I want this.
this double pack looks really cool. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the only thing you could make him before was that extra head that came with the other Deadpool, and then you had to
Are they both just
body
rebounds?
from some other pack. Remember?
Yeah, these
That's
are like
why I was able to sell the head for like $50 because someone else. I got begged. I showed the head in a video on my YouTube, and I got begged by a guy for like months wanting to buy that head, and he finally was like, "This is it, final offer, $50." And I went, "Dude, if you're really going to give me $50 for a head, I'll sell you the head." And he went, "I will," and he PayPal'd me $50, so I sent him the head. And he had to buy like the figure from that 2 or 3 pack or whatever it was in order to put the head on it. You know what I mean?
I think this set is really cool because okay, one, the Deadpool I think looks fantastic, and two, that briefcase. I just want the briefcase
with the funny stuff in it. Yeah,
yeah. I just want the briefcase. With
Which set were you talking about, John? Is that the one with the hit monkey?
I don't remember. Do you know? You remember it came with the funny head, the funny Hydra guy head. He has a name.
Remember.
He's that. I don't know his name,
Bob?
but he's the. Is it Bob? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it previously that was the only way to get Bob was you had to get the head from that set and then buy a Hydra figure and put the head on the Bob head on the Hydra figure.
It's interesting that Left Coast has really been in the Barbie section a while.
Check out those cards, Vern.
I saw, you know what, they have those over at one of these discount retailers like Ross or whatever.
Is
they
this the same one Battleverse is using?
Yeah, $5. And then I got these this guy's taking us pictures of these like what if figures. Have you seen all these ones that have been released? So this is Goliath. And this is where I'm a little bit disappointed in this. This is just a regular size 6-inch figure, right? But if it's supposed to be Goliath from the cartoon, I kind of wish that he was like big. You know,
I don't remember this from the first season of What If. Is this from What If season 2?
Season.
Yeah, it's the second season coming out soon.
Yeah, because when we look at the next slide here, we're going to see the Steve Rogers, and you can totally tell that the suit's been updated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a beard too. Look at that.
Yeah.
This looks like a bigger figure, right? That's why his head is small.
Yeah. So if you get this figure and put a baseball cap on it, is it kind of like the dude?
It is.
Kind of.
Totally, yeah.
So he's going to need that probably. So I got this from Stater versus Twitter, and he gave the photo credit to figure photos _ Turkey.
Okay, so you're not reusing.
Yeah,
you're crediting where it came from.
Yes, yeah, not a reuse. And then Rick left just in time for us to show off this Comic-Con exclusive from Gentle Giant. Right, this is a jumbo R2D2.
Wait, didn't they already make a jumbo R2D2?
I think he might have had something to do with this one, right? He didn't want to stick around though to get credit or anything.
Oh, because I think the other one they didn't have the back metal top, did it?
Yeah. Dog Collector, thank you for joining us. I think it's the first time we've seen you in the chat. Just got in the mail Superboy Prime for $8. $8. Yeah, I didn't really do any of the McFarlanes and stuff like that. I know there were a couple of McFarlanes that just popped up, right? Like those, but those are not San Diego Comic-Con. Those were other ones. There was the Justice Society versions or something like that? Let me see if I can find it.
Oh my gosh, Vern. Hasbro owes you money.
What do you mean?
You got another like 40 backers because of your stream putting the Dragonfly up.
Wouldn't that be nice? If they did, they're not going to give me anything, John. They don't care about me.
It's at 17,106 now.
Wow.
So just while we were watching, like 40 No,
Yeah.
that's only like 21 or something, isn't it? Okay, never mind.
Still,
But
I mean,
still,
profits
and it's
in
all because of you. If you weren't talking about it, that was everyone.
us.
Yeah.
Yes. I did not do this on my own. Let me tell you. And then I started thinking, like, maybe it's these live streams. They're saying, like, oh, you're putting other people on your live streams.
Oh, maybe you're reusing me.
Yeah, I'm reusing you guys. I don't know. The whole thing's quirky.
Yeah, I guess I'll still get it. And like you said, if I really need or feel the need to get some back, I will sell the figures because I could. It's going to be hard for me to do something like that, but I guess I could.
If you did want the whole thing, I'm sure you could at least break even.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, to me, the coolest thing was the helicopter and Wild Bill were enough for me to like say, yeah, I want it.
And I mean, I did just get $100 for that card I pulled out of that Marvel pack the other day.
Yeah. And so and then the blonde-haired Scarlet, I think is cool because you could just put a red-haired person's head on there, right?
Well, that's definitely coming out as a figure because if you look at, like, I think they learned from the Sky Striker because if you look at the Sky Striker, it came with Night Force ripcord, which is exactly what they did at a 6-inch figure.
You're buying Glenda for $275 and everything else is extra. But really,
and what they did is they went, well, we can't do the same thing and make the Scarlet because everyone complained they wanted the Scarlet on their own. So they were like, well, let's just pop this blonde-haired girl's head on Scarlet's body and make her Glenda, and then we'll down the road put out a Scarlet in the main line and with
absolutely
that outfit,
But you can always, they have that new Black Widow figure that's coming out too, the Target one. You can always do a head swap with that figure and have a Scarlet. And I think that could be a really good head swap in a way.
Because I was seriously thinking of canceling, but then I think you guys have convinced me to keep it on there. I won't.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, John won't do the head swap because it will devalue his figure in his eyes.
Well, now I just won't even open those 3 figures. I'll just leave them.
But you can always get a little red paint too and paint the hair.
No, that would be worse. That's worse than popping heads.
Oh my God. Are you guys watching anything?
Secret Invasion.
I was watching an old show from mid 2000s called Invasion, where during a hurricane that made landfall in the Everglades, all these alien lights came down in the eye of the hurricane and landed in the water. And then if someone went in the water, it would make a cocoon around them and steal their like body snatcher style. And then they would come out an alien hybrid between human and alien.
I remember that.
How did I never find the show? I was like,
in the mid 2000s, you were too busy watching. I think the new Battlestar.
No, I didn't like that show that much either. So
yeah, but you were watching it every week.
I watched that after.
You hoped that it was going to get better.
Sean Cassidy wrote that, did he? Okay. Yeah, I ended up liking it, but then I found out I got to the end of the first season, and it ends on a cliffhanger, of course. And I must have got canceled because there's no second season up on the streaming service. So I'm like, damn it. Why is there more?
That happened to me with a show called Copper. There was a story of, I think it was Irish or Scottish or something like that, but he was like a police officer in like New York in the early years when people were still migrating and they had the separate communities and stuff like that. And it was, he was the police. So he was the copper. And then it ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Canceled.
It's like, Gap's got it, Invasion's on Tubi TV. And it's like if someone runs across that, what was the one with the nuclear bombs? Jericho, right?
Yeah, that's a cliffhanger too.
Yeah, it ends on a cliffhanger, and then they got canceled. So it's like you can't. It's a great show, but you can't find out how it ends. Yeah.
So Eric, what do you think of the Secret Invasion?
I got bored.
It's all right. No, I mean I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm not as angry about all the criticism. I think there's valid criticism of it out there.
Have people been criticizing it?
Yeah.
I have not seen any of it, I guess.
Well, I think it was like I want to be cognizant of spoilers, but I'll just say some of the reveals I think people were saying could have been handled better, like who's a scroll.
There's the
and
reveals now?
and that
Yeah,
and
that's
that
Skrull.
and that for how much money was spent, they probably could have done more with
Did you?
like bringing in like superheroes or whatever.
Well, we don't know that they're not planning to, right? Because
No, I know. There's still 2 more episodes.
right, like you could end up with War Machine in the end, realistically, right?
Yeah.
Because we know well, without spoilers, we do know where Rhodey should be,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
what about this the technology that they're using from Iron Man 3?
The extremis.
Yeah, the
stuff.
extremis stuff.
Yeah, and you saw the one guy with the Groot powers that you saw
that
in
was kinda
the
crazy.
trailer.
Yeah. Well, they just showed that in the last episode.
No, I know, but the last episode had that sequence was in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Or in one of the.
Well, you're just being very cognizant of people who are waiting to the very end to stream it all at once.
I'm probably going to have to, because I got bored watching it episode by episode. So I said I'm going to have to. I'm going to watch it, but I think I'm just going to wait and watch it when it's all, so I can watch it back to back.
Yeah, the problem is that it's probably like maybe a 2.5 hour movie that they've had to like string out into like 8 episodes or whatever. So there's a little bit more drag in it than would have been if it was a movie, right? So, but I get the same feel from Winter Soldier in a way, the way that they're trying to progress the story, that it's like kind of like spy espionage stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I'm still painting all the dogs.
I mean, I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm really bummed and upset by Bob Iger's comments to reduce the volume of Star Wars and Marvel content that they're pushing out.
Right.
And even more upset with like his comments about like the various unions and whatnot. I think seriously needs a reality check.
I was watching some of the actors talking about the strike and stuff like that. I think they have a valid point, especially with technology and CGI and AI and stuff like that, that they really do need to revamp their contracts for them, just because of the way the landscape is changing for them. I mean, so, I guess if they have to strike, they have to strike.
Well, I mean, on top of that, I don't think it was explicitly stated which studio exec said it, but I think it was heavily implied that it was Bob Iger, at least, saying that like the strategy is for dealing with the unions is to just hold out until like August, September, and just stonewall everything until people just lose their homes, can't pay rent.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. I guess that's always when you're in the position of power or whatever, right? That's just the way people think about it. But
yeah. So
it's unfortunate. I mean, like, I guess what you need is more people standing up saying like, no, we're going to back these people because, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just tune out. There's no new content coming up. I think I'm just going to have to turn off this service or something like that.
Yeah. I think there are going to be a lot of conflicted people with like conflicted feelings about like when Ahsoka comes out, because I think Ahsoka's the first big show that's coming out, like unless there's some resolution, which it doesn't seem like that will be the case based on what's out in the news, but that's going to be like the first big show without like a huge like press tour or anything, so it'll be weird.
I need to talk to my brother because I just found out he said he's not even coming to Comic-Con. So I got to find out if that's related to this, if he just doesn't want to come down as a professional because he works on shows.
He's a writer.
He's not a writer. He's a producer, director, but he has done, he does all the aspects.
Yeah,
animated. Yeah.
sure.
But my niece is a writer, so I wonder if she's coming. You know, but
Like
then,
I is so. Is it different for writers and actors? This is a I
They're
don't
different
understand a
unions.
whole lot of what's going on, but like I personally have mixed feelings about unions and group, like these group fights like this, whether it's unionized or not. Because I just remember back when I worked at Xerox in the 90s, okay? My friend worked in the line in the factory where he was, so I was an engineer, like
Mhm.
in research and development, designing printers and stuff. So I'm the
sure.
guy designing them. So my job never had any questions or problems. I wasn't in a union. I just kept going to work, designing and doing all this stuff, research and
Well,
development.
that's not fair.
He worked in a factory where he had a union. Okay.
Right.
And one day they went on strike because the union wanted more money for their workers and things like that.
Mhm.
And Xerox, after like a month of striking, Xerox said, "Listen, here's our final offer. You guys have to take it, or we're going to close the plant and just open a plant in Mexico." And the union, my friend said, "Take the money because it's a raise." It was a raise of like $2. So my friend was like, "I want to take the money. Let's get it. We're getting a raise. Everything's okay, and we'll fight another couple years down the road for more money if we can do it." And because he goes, "I don't want to lose my job." And the union said, "Don't worry, you won't lose your job. Xerox will never close the plant. If we want $25, we're going to go for 25." And Xerox closed the plant, fired everybody, and they built a plant in Mexico. So
Yeah.
my friend said the only reason I lost my job was because of this union,
Yeah.
and they're sticking to their
Well,
thing. If they had
and
listened to us and taken the $22, we would all still have jobs and be working
they're
there. You know what
they're
I mean?
they're very complex,
So he
like
blames the
stories around all
union.
of it. Like unions, like in their purest form, look out for
Listen,
the
if
well-being of
YouTube
workers
content
and
creators
yeah.
had a union, I would not have been demonetized.
There you go.
but but in
Let's
all
get a union.
seriousness, but in all seriousness, there's like
So let's make a
you,
union, okay, guys?
no, like unions in their purest form are meant to look out for the safety and well-being
Yes.
of their workers. However, there have been, I think, many cases of them being abused and whatnot.
Yeah.
But in the
It
case
goes
of
both
like
ways.
but in the case of what you're saying, John, there's also like the U.S. government and the state governments don't do enough to ensure that
Yes, I agree with you.
businesses stay in the states. So they're allowing that to happen and creating conditions where like
There's a,
companies choose to like invest in infrastructure
it's
elsewhere
a,
instead of
it's a,
here.
it's a double-edged thing, right?
But they can't really do that with the
Without
actors and writers, right? That's
yeah, but
Hmm?
the thing is the reason why those actors and writers and directors have unions is because that's how they get their like retirements and stuff like that.
yeah.
They pay into those dues, they pay into those funds, so they end up having like a retirement after doing like 25, 30 years in the industry, right? Like so not everybody is walking home with a $20 million payday after a job, right? There's a ton of people who are working
Yeah, I get what you're
in
saying.
the
Yeah.
television and film industry who are making a living, and they're going to count on a retirement when they're done. And those people need to be able to have something in the end, right?
Yep.
And when you're the
Or just get
executive,
healthcare, or just get healthcare, right? Like their
right?
minimums,
Yeah,
they're like negotiated like minimums you
yeah.
have
So
to be
there's a
getting
ton
to
of
get on their plans and all that.
yeah, there's a ton of benefits for having a union or a bargaining association or whatever for your
Mhm.
job, and there's pitfalls to it, right? Like it's supposed to be a negotiation, but what's happening is what more and more what you see is the people who are in the power, and when it's about big money like that, they don't want to give up their $100 million a year payday as being the executive of a multi-billion-dollar company, so they can pay this guy $47 instead of 46, right? They don't want to do that. So they'd rather just like make $150 million payday and relocate their factory out of the country. And in your case, what you were describing, I bet they wanted to do that from the get-go.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that was their ultimate goal, was if we just make it so miserable, everybody will go on strike and then we'll just move. I mean, I think that was their intent to begin with, right? Because
very well could be. You're right.
No.
yeah, so.
But what I'm saying is that, like, to be an actor in Hollywood, you have to be in the Screen Actors Guild, right?
Yes,
There's no
yes.
choice.
No.
So they can't just hire a bunch of guys from Mexico to film
Hold on.
and kick
Hold on.
out Brad Pitt and
Okay.
Tom Cruise.
This isn't about like your top billing
So
actors.
here's what I remember from when I originally, when I was in my 20s, was gonna try to start doing like commercial work or whatever. Okay. So I had an agent, I gave him my pictures, and I was not in the union. So what he said was he was gonna send my stuff to both union and non-union jobs. He says
okay.
the difference is if you get a union job, like a commercial, right? You go, you do your commercial, they pay you $500 for the day. And then that's it. They own the commercial, they own you in that commercial, whatever, but you got your $500. If you get a union job, you show up, he said, don't ever lie to them and say you're in the union. Just try to avoid them asking you. Because if they select you, they'll help you get in the union, right? To give you the job. So once you're in the union, the pay at that time was like, instead of getting the $500 check, you got a $300 check, right? But after 6 months, they had to pay you again.
Like a royalty thing.
Yeah, if they were going to rerun the commercial for another 6 months or something like that. There was like a continuation of this pay if they continue to use it over the years.
Yeah.
And that was the difference between the union and the non-union type jobs for commercials.
Yeah.
Well,
and a lot of these union workers want more royalties, right? Is that
right.
my understanding of how it
No,
works?
I think what they want is they wanted
so they can afford healthcare and other stuff.
They wanted to increase that base amount that they were going to get for being in a union job, and then probably have their benefits increased somehow, right?
Well, to pay, I mean, like if you're an independent, I think a lot of actors are considered that. To pay for your own health care is absurd right now.
Yeah,
it's I mean, there are good plans are like $1,000 a month.
Well, that's a much bigger problem. That's a much bigger problem with this country.
$1,000 a month. You know what I mean? So you're like, I don't have any money left over for rent if I'm buying health insurance. You know.
Well, that's a much bigger problem with the lack of universal health care in the country. But I didn't mean for this to go down
what I'm saying is I can understand if that's one of their points is like, if I'm getting $300 for this and a $300 royalty a few months down the road, I can't pay for healthcare unless I did 20 commercials. You know.
Okay, so let's look at what Thousand Ghosts is saying. He's saying that they want more base pay plus they want a cut of the streaming money. Okay, so right now the way like royalties work in the business, because this is what it's been explained by my brother or whatever, is like, so every time an episode he works on gets aired, there's ad revenues for that episode that aired. So there's like pennies or something, or like nickels or whatever that come into everybody who worked on that episode. That's part of like some sort of a residual payment. And what ends up happening is that every 6 months or so, he just gets a check, which includes all of his royalties, like
from everything.
From everything. So from what I'm getting is that if you stream it on Disney Plus and then you stream it tomorrow on Disney Plus and then I stream it next week on Disney Plus,
you get enough
royalties.
But on top of that, from what I understand, hearing a lot of people in the industry talk about it, is the streaming platforms have all these various metrics for success internally,
right?
But they don't publish what those are.
No, they don't. Yeah.
And even if they want, even if they were obligated to pay residuals off streaming, which they're not currently because the business model has changed, and just the industry has fundamentally changed since the last time there's been collective bargaining on all of this. They flat out refuse to share any of that data.
Yes.
Because it's not in their best interest, because they will have to pay up, and they don't want to.
Yeah.
So Jonathan's saying that streaming is not making it is not a money making ATM. That's why Disney has taken shows like Willow down. It's costing them money to keep it online. So I just kind of throw this out there with that comment. It may not be exactly apples to apples comparison, but they keep saying the streaming services aren't making them money, right? Because they're spending a lot of money making all these shows and stuff like that. But I watched this thing one time where they were trying to explain how Star Wars never made any money, right? The original Star Wars. And the way that they explained it in this thing that I saw was the reason why it's never on paper made money is because every time they re-release it or put it on video or re-release a video or put it back in the theater, it's keeping this ledger open for the marketing of that re-release or whatever. So this ledger's constantly open. So because it never closes, there's never a definitive, this movie made X in profit.
Yeah, I want to say like that exact scenario was described by John Cusack. I think he was saying like, hey, I never get, I was supposed to get like a certain percentage of profits or whatever from say anything. And he says, I see nothing because of their like clever accounting tricks.
Yeah. It's because, so these people who were supposed to get a residual portion of like the total profits from it, you will never see it because they never close out that ledger.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. But I don't understand I get what Jonathan's trying to say, but when I watch Squawk Box and Disney Reports, and maybe they don't have Bob Iger on, but they got somebody on from Disney, they always say, like, the parks brought in X amount of dollars profit for Disney. They go, the sale of merchandise at Disney brought in this X amount of dollars. Disney Store online and brick and mortar brought in this much money. And they'll be like, the television shows and movies we put out bring in this much. Disney Plus brings in this much. And the dollar amount for Disney Plus is billions of dollars.
It's always in the plus column.
And it's in the plus, as in they've made money off it. And sometimes they even say, some quarters, they even go, Disney is only profitable this quarter because of Disney Plus.
Yeah. So
how are they losing money then?
Clever accounting trick.
Accounting. Yeah. So it's just.
Are they really, or is it like, or what? Right. You know what I mean? Like
when you talk about statistics and numbers, right? I've always said this because when somebody always asks, "Hey, can you get me stats on this?" The next question I always ask them is, "What do you want your stats to say?" Right? Like, what are you trying to tell with stats? Is it a positive or a negative? And when you're looking at like staffing numbers, of course, you want your stats to show that you don't have enough staff. But when you're looking at like goals and objectives, you always want your stats to look like, oh, you outperformed every other quarter. You know what I mean?
Right. And let's be honest. Like there are certain things that Disney was doing to trim down content to save on paying residuals for shows that were like negotiated to pay people for just them being in existence, like Willow as an example. But
so the cost of paying those, not the cost of hosting.
Well, it's both. I mean, there's costs associated with a lot of that kind of stuff, but let's be honest. If it was not profitable for Disney to be running Disney Plus, they wouldn't be doing it. Right?
Yeah, it would be shut off. Yeah,
they would shut that shit down. I mean, these are not silly people. The people who are running Disney, like, these aren't romantics for like Disney. These are business people who just care about the numbers. That is it.
Yeah, that's why Dark Crystal and Willow are gone, because they weren't
Right.
making them enough money.
They
But
do
what
not
I-
care
what-
about the art.
See, my question about making them enough money, I guess I was never considering like the people involved in making it getting residual checks because of every time it gets aired. I thought of it as like, are you kidding me? So putting like 10 gigs of movie space on a hard drive costs you that much extra money? Like, I don't. To me, it's like hard drive space or whatever you want to call it these days.
Well,
You know,
who knows, John? Because
RAM, whatever,
Twitter,
whatever it is, like SSD drives, whatever it's stored on, like costs so insignificant compared to
Cloud infrastructure for Disney Plus is probably like it's not it's not inexpensive, but that's probably not the
That's what I'm
big
saying.
element for
what I
Disney,
mean is that
right?
like if it to me it's like it probably costs them next to nothing to keep a show saved on a hard drive on a computer or wherever it's coming from in a cloud service. I mean, a cloud service is a computer sitting somewhere.
Yes,
You're just
yeah.
accessing it.
No,
But it's not
I know.
literally like in the cloud. But what I'm saying is like it costs if you've got a terabyte or you've got 1 terabyte and 10 gigs, it doesn't cost that much different.
But here's the problem, John.
So why not keep that show just on the hard drive for people to watch?
If you're paying, like, say, Google for their cloud storage, like what Twitter was doing before or whatever, and you say, okay, I'm going to contract with you $250 million a year, and I'm going to want like a million terabytes of data, right? And Willow's taken up, it's like 500 gigabytes, but you're constantly adding shows to your like thing. Eventually that space fills up. Now, there's no way that it takes up that much space, but let's say you're getting there and you're like, hey, we're 200 terabytes away from filling up our drive, and we're going to have to pay Google more for additional space. Or we can just start deleting the stuff that nobody's watching. And that way we don't have to. And maybe what they did was they renegotiated their contract with whoever was doing their cloud storage and said, let's just reduce our terabyte storage from 100 million to 500,000.
It's not like I'm not in the business of negotiating a lot of these contracts, but being somewhat close to some of the stuff, it's not necessarily, storage itself is there, but there are a lot of so Gap's talking about, like, I guess Disney Plus uses the AWS, Amazon Web Services. It's not as much obviously there's costs associated with the storage, but it's all the extra features associated with it, like self-healing, like vertical and horizontal scaling, and whatnot, that like they pay for whatever, like the top tier kind of extra bells and whistles that are associated to make sure that Disney Plus isn't like laggy as shit, right?
So they're paying for that. But what I'm saying, so maybe they renegotiate their contract and then reduce the amount of like storage, because they were like, we don't need to keep every single one of these shows that nobody's watching up there. So let's go through and review and see, like, out of our 90 million subscribers or whatever, we only got 1,000 people watching Willow. Do we really want to be keeping Willow on there?
I think in the case you're asking a valid point, Vern, but I think in the case of Willow, it reeked of more of a specific contractual issue where, for the volume of people who were watching, it wasn't worth them paying.
Paying to maintain, all the service behind it.
John Kasdan, Larry Kasdan's son, who wrote.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Right, like the. I'm not like, I don't think like any of us are privy to those contracts, but I have to imagine it was just a less than favorable contract for Disney to hold it up there on and keep it. That's what I guess, at least,
but
because otherwise you'd see them doing that a lot more with other shows.
Yeah, that's kind of what my question is. There
been.
Has to be something specific with that, because also it doesn't make sense, because if the guys are going on strike right now because they want residuals from streaming services who aren't paying these actors and producers anything for streaming the shows, then that means Willow should be up there because they don't have to pay these guys anything.
But you don't know like what was. There might have been some out of band negotiation, right? Like
that's what I mean. There had to be because otherwise
there
Willow
could have
would
been.
still be there.
Yeah, they might have had some really good lawyers, right?
Three non-experts. I'm legitimately
there you have it
because I don't know what's going on. I don't understand any of this stuff. So that's why I'm legitimately asking questions to be like, what happened? Why? You know, because I thought it was all about digital AI and like in a way almost what chat.
I mean, there's some buzzwords around that, and like certainly like the one thing that was quoted around like scanning people's faces one time and using them indefinitely for
like
like
deep
1 day's
and
work.
things like that. Like I thought that's was all the
that's certainly digital like rights. That's one horrible element of like whatever kind of deal was put on the table or offer was put on the table. But it's bigger than that. As a whole, I think people just want like a living wage. Like a lot of these people live in Southern California, and while I don't live there, like I live in Chicagoland, it's expensive. These people can't afford to live in like the area where they're working.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point out we created a new section on the Toy Duo. It's the There You Have It from the 3 non-experts. So whenever there's a difficult question to be answered, and you can ask it here, and 3 people who have no idea.
Their take on
brainstorm it and come up with the answer for you, and that's what we do.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right. I don't think we can answer those questions really. None of us.
Yeah, I get you.
Let me get.
All right. Well, I think they just delivered a whole bunch of boxes, so I'm gonna go over there and see what I got outside.
Got some indie stuff today.
Oh my gosh! I've been looking for the one with the one shirtless.
The hypnotized.
The one armed.
I've seen that guy everywhere. The other one is always gone from stores.
Do you get a heart with that? Do you get a heart?
It's the face Build-A-Figure.
Oh no! You get the Sankara stones with this one.
Yeah.
Oh. And I want a heart so that your mum Shabai can hold the heart. Of course, now he's not coming out either, is he? They made the prototype. I saw pictures of it, but I guess they're not going to release him either because of the stereotype.
This is the only one that I found from that wave so far.
I got the others, the others shipped from Pulse, and I got those like a couple days ago.
Want the one arm, one shirtless dude, not the shirtless dude, but the one where his arm, shoulders are.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these in stores. Nope, not in stores.
I haven't seen.
I'm not buying the indie figures anyway, so.
All right, guys. I think we hit the 2-hour mark, and I think we solved their problem up there in Hollywood. So hopefully that strike will be over on Monday.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
And Comic-Con's coming up next week. John, you got your Christmas in July tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yep.
Okay.
And the Verbot robot that's taking over the world and killing all the humans is up right now on the channel. Okay, tomorrow the Sideshow 1/6 scale Yoda video will be up, and then I have 2 other videos in the next couple days. And if everything goes right, I'm going to be filming a couple more today to stockpile for next week.
So. All right, cool. Eric, got anything going on in the week?
No. Right. Just gonna be trying to get all the figures from Walmart.
Yeah. G-Force needs to know how to fix this printer, so we need to keep going.
That'll be next week on the Toy Duo.
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to put on my community post later. I'm just going to put up a general question like, can you help me determine which videos on my channel are you believe that I've reused from other people's something
footage.
Like that.
Yeah, reused footage.
If you guys can just glance through my stuff, and if you see anything, just respond to that and let me know, because eventually I have to delete these to reapply. And so
yeah, we have to help Vern figure out which videos
what
have
I've reused
content and what did he reuse.
Whose content I've reused too, because haven't reused any, but
Apparently,
You
he's
should
stealing
probably start
content
with that
from all
Flash
us other-
one. Just delete
yeah, I'll
that one.
probably delete that for sure. That one is gone. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that probably this week. I'm gonna let it collect some more views though.
Wait till it gets to 500,000 or something.
You know what's hilarious is like I do love the comments that I've been getting. I've been deleting them so nobody can read them, but I do love the way some people have really taken to heart to like speak their mind on that whole thing. But anyways, to everybody in the chat, thanks for coming by and hanging out with us a little bit for a couple hours on Saturday, and hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.